Aladdin. I like that comic. So I have a YouTube channel about animals, but I'm in a comic book store. So what would be the relate between animals and comics would be that there are comics about animals. And one that I found has a lot of societal implications seen through the eyes of animals. And I found a really good one, so I'm going to take you over there and show you what it's about. It's called Animal Castle. Now this comic, just like its name, is actually very relatable to the novel by George Orwell, Animal Farm. There's a lot of societal implications that are the same in this comic as that novel itself. Nathan does comic book reviews for Rated Comics on a regular basis, but he did do one for Animal Castle, so check that out as well if you do want to see what he had to say about it, just additional information, or if you want to know more about comics in general, check him out. He normally does it right over here in this corner, so if you want to see the review that he did for Animal Castle, or as well as all the other comic book reviews that he does, check it out, description down below. Also like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it over here and we're gonna go ahead and check this comic out. All right, let's go ahead and do the review. So here's the comic itself. Yeah, proverbially it is quite a heavy comic, but it is pretty light in actuality. So no squeamishness. And the art itself is quite has quite a lot of implication. So it is good to actually watch the pictures, see how the posture, how they carry their eyes, all that. It does matter quite a bit. I am going to give you a spoiler alert though. In the first comic, he is referenced, but you do not see the head honcho there. You got your guards, and then you got the main star, which is facing the cat that's the main star of the comic. I'm going to start. It's preferenced quite well. On the farm, all animals were equal. In the castle, some are more equal than others. And it starts off pretty much showing a empty castle. It's got a chicken with a black guy down there at the bottom. And it pretty much just tells you that the humans had all left. They don't know why, whether it was disease or they just decided to on their own. But they are all gone and pretty much left the animals of the castle and the farm to fend for themselves and set up somewhat of a Lord of the Flies situation. On the first page is pretty much the hook. You got the chicken here that's tied to the post, wrapped up to the post by neck and waist, and his crime was withholding an egg that is supposed to go to the community pot. And it's pretty much, it's not really a court system setup. It's more set up in the medieval times, and it tries to show a law and order to it, but is not exactly fair. The fruits of their labors are to be stored in the central storehouse. This is pretty much the number one, and these are the guards. Is also, it refers to the number two as well. And these are some of the main characters right here, and they are onlooking the situation that's about to happen for this kid that is the one in trouble for withholding the egg. So, and this is pretty much, it does show kind of like an aerial view of the little area that he's kept. These are the onlookers. I would say probably peasants, best to be described. And that's not something you want to see, and that is quite graphic right there. And then that as well. And then here are the onlookers. You could tell by their expressions nothing good happened. It doesn't get too graphic in this page, but yeah. And then this is a very powerful piece right here. You must remember this day, Miss B. Yes, the day Adelaine, that was the name of the chicken, died. No, with a question, kind of puzzled. As the last day that we did nothing. And then come on. So basically, he's being pushed by one of the guards to carry a stone brick up. He's exhausted. One of them wants to help. That was the I think oxen or water buffalo or whatever it is. but wants to help, but Miss B is okay with it. Miss B pretty much has to carry the manual labor left. It was her partner's job. Her partner is no longer here, but because it has to be done no matter what, she's the one that has to carry the load. Faster, the guard says. Getting this done. Got to get it done. And then Miss B, you can tell the expression and pretty much contempt on that face. And pretty much going through, she needs to deliver the stone block because they need to finish building the castle so that they can keep their defenses up. And this is the number one, pretty much kind of reading out who gets what rations based on what they had given. And then they count that as buttons. So buttons are what they earn as far as shillings or rubles or whatever you want to call it, dollars, Bitcoin, who knows, however you want to call it. And so this kiddo only has one egg. That's not enough. It's highway robbery. I'm surprised they know anything about highways in that time period or being animals themselves. But it's great. It's a great reference since we are human readers. And you can see Miss B carrying this block all the way up. Here's the line, pretty much to try to get their shillings or their rations or whatever it is that they use. I don't think that I actually saw the buttons themselves in this comic. Not really an important point, but you could see this. She's exhausted, trying to get this block up. Pretty much one of the guards saying, "Don't care, get it done." They get it to the top. She tries to point out a rational point. Little much ego with this duck that says, "Well, I've been a mason for all my life, and I know what's going on." And Miss B saying, "Nah, you may know a lot, but it's not going to work this time." And an accident happens. Miss B basically bails out this duck, the duck that was giving Miss B a hard time. Pretty much makes an ally at that point. And the dog is pretty much saying, "Get it done at all cost." Very little concern and emotion. And then kind of a question about what's going on. Miss B saves the duck because the duck actually it's kind of cool that the duck explains that, "Hey, look, I need a momentum to get going before I can use my wings." Miss B saves the kiddo. And then this is kind of later at night. You got the bunnies over here kind of taking in the carrots. This is kind of a noble, so to speak, I guess, in that time period behind this box, and it's kind of there's kind of some mystery about what's in the box. You can tell that the bubbles are coming from the box itself, and then it kind of opens up I know there's a character, I'm sure probably from like Alice in Wonderland that you can. But at least that's how they kind of carry the character, but I don't know for sure. I'm not too up on that. But he's pretty much, I guess, a gigolo, so to speak, for the other female bunnies. And he's quite proud of his position. And he kind of gets a little too confident with Miss B and kind of references her kids. And of course, when you get a mom, when you say certain things about your kids, a mom can get a little upset, and got a little upset, kind of embarrassed him. And then that just kind of shows some of the nature and just kind of setting up some of the storyline of the characters. Then you have she goes home, and you finally get the kids coming in. It's very interesting how the kids come up and hug Miss B, the mom. And I know that the mom's name is around here somewhere, but hey, look, if you want the comic, you'll be able to know for sure in case I miss it. But they come up and they want to hug, and then she says, "Children, is that how we greet our mother when she returns?" And then you can see this is kind of more of just more of a bowing, regulated type of kind of greeting. It's kind of odd to me. That was pointed out. I think it's a good I think it's important and it means a lot. But yeah, very strange. Basically, how at least myself, and I've seen how I've been brought up in that sense. So they're trying to get their rations, poor kids, and of course they're tugging on your heartstrings and emotions when they show that the kids don't really have the food. Now the goose is kind of like the old hen that she calls herself that she's kind of like the nanny, or just kind of helps out, just trying to do her part and helping out under tough times. It's just kind of explaining, hey, look, they don't have much, but they're just trying to get through it. It kind of shows that the water trough is empty. These kids, then you got number one up here on the high rock here, kind of giving out deliberations. And then you got down here now they're in a crowd and they're basically singing "Glory, Glory," the president. I mean, I'm sure definitely different countries you've seen this take place in present day. Where they kind of have to sing praises to the leader, and we all know that that's not necessarily genuine. And then you got the kids here that they're looking for. We sung well, right? But now we're hungry. It's like, okay, we sung, we did what you wanted us to do. We sung praises to our leader, to the president. They're all waiting. They want their food. Now they're getting a little upset, saying, "Hey, look, like we want our food. It's not going as routine or as well as they would like, or it's basically they're not getting the bare minimum that they need before they get too upset." It is pretty much what's going on there. And then you got one of the guards saying, no, that's not going to happen. You guys need to know your place and stay in line. And then we're hungry. They're getting a little upset. And then you see the guards right here. Now you can see that they're getting much more defensive. They're putting on their the defensive barks. They're letting it out. These kids are not backing down. You can tell. Look at them. Look at that donkey's expression. You can tell his eyebrows are down. Everybody's eyebrows are down. Heads down. Eyebrows are down. So basically, the peasants are not happy, and you could tell that they are not. They're not intimidated by these dogs. You could tell the muscle on the dogs. You could tell that they're not overfed by any means, but you could tell that they're strong. Which is not necessarily the case. I mean, you can see that with the buffalo, or I mean, with all these kids, you can tell that the buffalo is a little scrawny. So you can tell that they're probably hungry just by the art itself. I do like how they show different angles. You can see pretty much right here the dogs at a different angle. You got a different angle up here, different angle down here, showing the different expressions, which kind of wraps up just kind of how they see it, and how now you have a different posture. You have a different posture on the dogs. You have number one here, kind of think, oh no, shoot, we kind of maybe overreached a little bit. Yeah, and then look at it, and you got the old hen here saying it's our turn to attack. Bark, 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 yap, yap, yap. And I think there's some claw, claw, claw going on in there. And you even got a baby bunny right here. And then you'll kill her, let her go, stop. He's trying to, little bunny trying to stay stopped. Look at a little bunny here pulling on the leg of the guard. Quite a stout Doberman, I would say. And then you got this guy over here. You asked for it. So the water buffalo is finally going to use his defense mechanisms, those horns right there. And then, then you got Miss B here taking her kids. She wasn't part of the attack. The old hen actually told her to get going, or the goose. She's a goose. I'm probably getting the names wrong of the animals themselves, but or what kind of animals they are, or how to describe them. Then you got this dog. Pretty much, I didn't really think about whether or not the cat and her kittens were at fault, but pretty much you're dead, DE just before, and then bonk, hit the wall. So they're safe just by being able to kind of get into a small crevice. You got the chicken right here. Now these kids are feeling a little bit empowered by chasing number one down, and then but unfortunately it looks like the militia is how they're called here, which are the other dogs. Pretty much the reinforcements are able to back him up, and then you can see his posture here, kind of walking away like yeah, everything's back to normal, back to cool. And then kind of goes back to the scene of Miss B taking care of her kids, and then the goose that Miss B saved on the planks, or on the scaffolding, putting up the block, just got hurt and is about ready to die, and saying, "I don't want to die." And then Miss B goes out to help, telling the kids, "Hey, look, stay back till I get back." And this is quite a gruesome depiction, but definitely is a real depiction under those circumstances for that type of system of control and governance. And you got this goose right here, the goose that's the old hen. Wow. And this is only actually the second time I've run through this, so it actually kind of tugs at me actually watching it or seeing this. I mean, it's having a was a daisy right there for some reason coming straight out the mouth. That's weird. That's there's a little bit too much, and then it says to be continued. So interesting comic. I think it's well written, well drawn, and if you like it, go on to ratedcomics.com and check it out. All that information and description will be down below. And yeah, check it out. Thanks for checking it all the way to the end, guys.